We got Louisiana Monroe this weekend. That got us thinking, what is a war hawk? Hey Google, what is a war hawk? Wait, a person who favors starting armed conflicts? Is that politically correct? Anyway, this is the podcast that the prognosticators come to when they need to remember how bad it can be. Rizzle, Charlie, C-Money, and Barner. This is Between Two Barns.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so when I started making that thing, I was actually wondering what a warhawk was, and then was surprised that that's not been removed by the politically correct crowd. Actually, unless there's something else that they're saying a warhawk is, everything I found is somebody that prefers war. So
they don't have an opinion anymore, so.
That's a good one. And canceled.
Coming out hot.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's somebody that prefers war to make decisions. So week 12 picks. We got our picks up here, picking against the spread, and we also got Tyson versus Paul, which is a hot topic. And what happened tonight, man? I'm super stoked about it. Just hearing people talk about it. Even there was some radio shows this week. They were talking about how they literally said you're stupid and these are professionals. If you think that Mike Tyson can win, you're actually just stupid. And I don't know, man. I think that I'll show those clips in a minute and we'll talk about it. But
Dave Portnoy posted an hour ago that he's like, why? He said I should put my whole stack, like everything I own on Paul. He said because there's no way that he can win this fight. And I was like, man, please do it.
There was a guy on the NFL Network, and I don't know his name, but he used to play football, and he had the exact opposite take. He said that he said you're crazy if you think that Jake Paul is going to beat Mike Tyson. He said that Mike Tyson is going to go in there, and it's going to be like an episode of Law and Order or Unsolved Mysteries, except you're going to know who killed him because it's going to be Mike Tyson.
So I don't think C-Money, for one thing, C-Money doesn't know what OG Mike Tyson is all about. So it's really crazy. I've been trying to explain to him.
I mean, you should have showed us some clips.
Well, I know, but it's just like unless you were living during that time, because it was weeks of stuff of build up before the fight where he was just off the chain.
You'd pay $100 for a pay-per-view that lasted 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You would.
And there was like 6 of those.
Yes, in a row.
Yes.
All right, so C-Money, you've seen some of the Paul fights. I confuse their names all the time, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. So I just call them one Paul. And he's kind of fought some of these. He's fought some of these guys that are way below the caliber. But this was Mike Tyson today. You haven't seen it yet. So this is one thing he said today.
Thank you.
I'm not going to lose.
But you say that in the last minute of the second.
I am not going to lose. Did you hear what I said?
Thank you.
That does not sound like the fights that he's had so far that were totally exhibition. They didn't have that kind of serious press conference going on. And then for one, there's a lot going on in this video that I don't want to talk about. I don't know what he was doing in this video. Here, I'll show it and then we'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And I'll do it one more time because what does he do at the beginning of the video?
Why does he walk up to him like that?
So that's what I'm talking about. So here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know, because the way he's doing that comes across as like a racial thing. It's really weird. I think that's why Mike snapped the way he did, because he came up doing some really weird stuff, and I I don't know. I think he's crazy to have pissed him off like that, but it felt like he was making a really, really bad comment right there. But when Mike slapped him, it moved his world, man. I mean, he made it look like, he kind of tried to pop up. He was going to do something, but it shook him. I mean, I watched some of the slap contests.
The slap competitions.
Yeah, and it shook him as bad as that. I mean, you could see him kind of trying to come back and be dazed. So, C-Money, what do you think about that? It looks a little more serious than the joke around fight, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the face that my camera's messed up. I'm just going to have to put my hand in front of it, fix it, pissing me off. There. That face right there.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lose.
But you say that in the last minute of the second.
I am not gonna lose. Did you hear what I said?
That is so reminiscent of when he was saying the crazy things at the press conference, man. That face is serious. I hope he's taking it that seriously.
Well, knowing how that boxing can be, there's always been speculation about fixed fights and all this stuff.
Yeah.
What if it's fixed that Tyson knocks him out?
What if it's what?
What if it's fixed that Tyson actually wins?
And then they want to do a second one?
It's just a huge payday. Yeah, and then they run it back. And then like you said, then they run it back.
And then they run it back.
If he knocks him out, I'm
double their money.
Yeah, well, if he knocks it out, I'm gonna take him. Not if he knocks him out, I'll take it. If fixed or not, I'll take it.
Fixed or not.
Just to see that result that I've been waiting for so long. I mean,
I think a lot of people feel that way too, though.
Yeah, that's what he's living on. He's totally living on just being the real life heel, and people are paying more. Like that's what I was talking to C-Money about the other day. These people like this make as much money by pissing people off as other people do by making people happy. That's all.
Yeah, if not making more, pissing people off.
No, not at all. No, but he's the real life heel, man.
I love the video.
His whole empire.
Yeah.
I love the interview that Mike had the other day. It was 2 days ago, I think. And he just said, he's like, I want to win this fight. He said, because my kids think I'm a loser. And they watch Jake Paul and all these videos, and they've never seen me fight. And he said, but after that fight, he said they'll change their perspective about me, like something like that, like paraphrasing. He's like, they'll think differently of me after this fight.
Dude, that's scary. How old? That makes me wonder how old his kids are, because
the confidence that Tyson has in himself is scary.
It is.
Like that's a scary thought for being on the other side of the ring. This 50-something-year-old man truly believes he's going to knock me out.
Dude, I don't like. It reminds me. There's a video from San Francisco, and it's this old white Marine guy, and there's this young punk that starts talking to him on a bus, and he starts running his mouth. And the Marine steps up to him, and this dude's probably Mike Tyson's age at the time. This video is probably like 14 years old now. And he steps up to this guy, and he connects like 5 hits, and the dude is knocked out, bleeding, like blood everywhere, and he just walks off the bus. And sometimes like age just doesn't matter, man. If you're not ready for it and you don't know what this guy's been through and what he can do, like it's not going to take much for Tyson. Knows he can knock him out. I don't care if he's 58 years old or not. He knows he can knock him out.
Well, Paul doesn't. I mean, I don't know anything about what shape he's in, but he doesn't look like he's in the shape he's been in for some of these previous fights either. I was watching the video of when that reporter pissed him off, asked him about when he was going to fight somebody for real. I mean, if I had to pick, I would say he was like an alcoholic. He looks swollen and puffy and weird looking. Yeah, he doesn't look good. So I don't know, man. Maybe he's in shape, but he looks worse than he has. I'm just seeing him in the past few days. But I don't know what he was doing crawling up to him like that, man. I'm pretty sure that's why he got pissed off, because the first thing I thought was he was trying to make some comment. That's the wrong person. I'm just saying, don't give him the fuel that he needs.
Yeah, don't. If they took a, don't poke the bear. Yep.
Oh. And then what, Charlie? What were you talking about a while ago? Bryce.
Bryce Underwood.
All right.
It's this 5-star plus quarterback out of Michigan. That's where he's playing high school ball. He's been committed to LSU for probably about a year now. There's reports coming out that Michigan is getting ready to offer him 4 years and about $10.5 million
To flip.
Whoa.
to flip. And there's a secret weapon involved in all this. His new offensive coordinator, who didn't start being his offensive coordinator until the playoffs started, is a gentleman by the name of Connor Stalions.
Oh man, I was hoping that was what you were going to say. As a Michigan fan, that sounds.
And
Which that's just so weird that a high school, like he was coaching a different team.
Yeah.
And as a defensive coordinator at the beginning of the season, I remember reading the headline that he got hired after the whole Michigan thing. He got hired somewhere to be a DC. And then their head coach got fired, so he took over that. And now he's on another team as an offensive coach in the playoffs. Like that seems fishy.
It does seem fishy, but I mean, I watched that documentary. You watched it, right?
Yeah.
That dude is a genius.
Oh, I agree with that. I'm saying is
Off
the
chart.
fishy part is changing teams in the middle of a season like that. Like how does
100%.
how is that legal?
If I was
What's not
offered
legal at this point, man?
$10 million, I would do it.
Well, Connor's not getting the money. It's the kid.
well,
Connor's getting the money from Michigan.
yeah, exactly. And like they, back in the end of September, Dave Portnoy, he had talked
Yep.
about he will pay to get Michigan a top 10 quarterback every year, and he will do it himself. And I guess they talked to him about it today, and he didn't deny it.
Well, so that's what made
you
me
know-
nervous ago when you said he was going to put all his money on this fight. I was like, wait, I need him to pay for Michigan. though.
Wait, he's supposed to buy me a quarterback.
Hey, man, $10.5 million, but Connor Stalions being back in. Look, I mean, he did some fishy stuff ish. I mean, he didn't do anything any worse than anybody else. If you watch the documentary, he admits to doing everything he did, but it's just a matter of people. I don't know. For one thing, he's just so good at it. To put that amount of work into it and to do it free for as long as he did it too, flying across the country from the military on weekends to do all this stuff for free. But he's got to be in football somewhere. He's too freaking smart at this.
Well, who knows if they got him for the playoffs? He may have been scouting these teams.
Yeah,
Exactly.
maybe.
And then all of a sudden they bring him in for a playoff defensive coordinator position, and that's probably just a label so they can pay him.
There was a few college people that moved here right around.
What if Michigan planted him on this team so they could convince him to go to Michigan?
Probably.
Well, I mean, so the way that documentary kind of ended, he was on the outs with Michigan. He kind of felt like he was thrown under the bus. So it would be a big turnaround for him.
They kind of had to, but if they pay him to go away quietly, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
But he felt disrespected by the whole thing, though. Even though it seemed like he was going to be okay with it. And if you watch that, he wasn't comfortable with the way it went. I never thought he would come back. But that would be amazing.
he may not come back. He may have had to sign a non-disclosure. You can only say so much.
Yeah. I don't know.
You
He
never
must
know.
not, I mean, he can't have too strong of an NDA because if you get to watch that documentary, that is amazing. It blew my mind.
He was on an opposing team's sideline dressed up, though.
Yes, he was. Yes.
There was some shady stuff there, man. And it's even shady with the Underwood thing. That's just that's wild.
It's
Just think,
too
like, 2
many
years
degrees
ago.
of separation.
But
2
so
years ago.
Rizzle, have you watched it?
What?
His documentary on Netflix.
No.
So he's a
But-
Michigan freak. Like his family's a freak. So his whole
Well, I know
existence was
I know his story and like his
Yeah.
background. I just didn't watch that documentary.
Yeah, his whole goal is to make Michigan football better somehow. Like that's his life goal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that he got really shunned from the program. I think it was just kind of they had to clear their hands of him, or they were about to get in serious shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And to make it seem like you're clearing your hands, you're probably going to hurt somebody's feelings. But they probably took him out to a nice dinner and gave him a bag and just said, just sit back. We'll get you back in, you can help us,
From
Yeah, I think
afar.
so.
What the other thing that's crazy is you think about that, like 4 years and 10.5 million. And if that
Yeah.
quarterback is as good as he is, like he ain't going to be there 4 years. So they're going to have to, you're going to have to sign a contract somewhere. And, most of these kids don't want to sign these contracts and they don't have to. But it's going to get to where it's going to have to do like contract stuff. You're paying these
Yeah,
kids
if
and then
he
they opt out and like, oh, I'm going to red shirt and transfer and this kind of stuff. And they've already
But
picked up a bag. Like,
there's
that's
some
what I'm
kind of
wondering. Like,
contract. Go
give
ahead.
him 10.5 million for 4 years, which however you divvy that up, I don't know. But let's say after a year, he's like, all right, I'm going to LSU now, or it changes his mind, or
yeah, they
then
just
what?
give them like 2.65 for a year,
For a year.
Yeah. And then just if you come back, here's another one. And then at that point, if he does really good, he's going to want to up it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to start playing these agent battles. And, oh, they offered me 3. Oh, here's your 3.5. You know what I mean? Like,
That's supposedly what happened with that Ole Miss running back last year, Jenkins.
yeah.
Is he went into the office and said, I want more money. And Kiffin said, have a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to find something because it came up the other day when we were talking about Kirby Smart. Actually, there's some type of contract, and I don't know if he didn't mean to say the word, but he said the other day, and I'm gonna find that quote because that the kids that are having to pay the fines back to the NIL collective, that's part of the contract. And that's the first person I've heard say contract. I don't know. It stuck out at me when I read that the other day. I thought, the problem is that there are no contracts. I don't know what he was talking about.
That's what Shark said. I think on the first podcast we ever did, we were talking about NIL, and he said that there's no contracts. Because we were talking about that UNLV quarterback that said he was told he was going to get X amount of dollars and left after 3 games because he didn't receive it.
Yeah. What had he done? I didn't even check back in on that guy.
I mean, he can't do anything until the transfer portal opens.
Dang.
I like
What
the
if he's
clip
still
I
going
saw
to
on
class?
Kirby this week of the 2 responses they showed of Kirby, the way he reacted to the kids getting arrested compared to the way he reacted to the kid dancing in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Completely different tone, wasn't it?
He's more pissed off about his player dancing after a loss than his players getting arrested.
Completely different tone, man.
Yeah, I'm worried about the biggest thing. That's crazy. Yeah, we that popped up when we were talking about it. I don't know. He only spent 10 seconds on it, but he was pissed for those 10 seconds.
Yep.
I'll find out later. But he did say that that's part of their contract, and that was weird to me. So I'll find it in a little while. Pop it back up. All right. So anybody else got any breaking news before we do the pick stuff?
Breaking.
Basketball team's still good.
We're still good.
Still good. Janai Broom. All you need is him and one
Chaney.
player to show out. Chaney looks so good.
He does.
Yep.
UAH in the house.
All the pieces are there. Like the schedule, we talked about how hard the schedule is, but with this team, that schedule is the perfect storm.
Oh, yeah. I think losing to Yale is the best thing that could have happened to this team, though. Looking back, obviously, when it happened, it wasn't, but.
Yeah, and losing a certain player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. If we wouldn't have lost to Yale, I don't think those kids would have come back, man. I think a bunch of them would have been gone.
I think Johnny would have left for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's. I looked into that the other day. He's pretty far down the list too on where he would be.
What, drafted?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a late first rounder this past year.
Yeah.
I mean, that position is just not like unless he gets really good at that 3-point shot or a mid-range game. I mean, he's a good backup in the NBA because that position is you got to be too athletic these days.
Yeah.
There's not many true like big men.
No, there's
Better
not. I
post
could see him put him in like a power forward position, like he had him in the starting lineup the other day, last night. I
Yeah,
could see him
but
going like that.
you gonna have him cover LeBron?
LeBron's about to retire.
I know, man. I mean, I'm just like, that's what LeBron plays power forward, and it's
Oh,
like,
I know, but it's like you can swap on defense. Move him around on defense. He's a good shot blocker. I don't think he's gonna be the greatest in the pros, but I mean, if he keeps
no, I don't
up,
either.
like right now he's ranked number 1 for Player of the Year in Ken Palm. If he keeps that up, that's gonna take his draft stock up no matter what. Somebody could take him.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's gonna draft him. I'm just saying, as far as like a legit like big time career, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
He's gonna be a
no,
serviceable NBA player.
yeah, for sure. And that center position is just doesn't. It's so hybrid now
Yes.
compared to when we grew up.
Did you see Bama almost lost to McNeese State in basketball?
Yes.
Yes.
I saw Aiden's stat line too.
It was horrible.
Mm.
I'm gonna read it off real quick.
Do it.
It looks like this.
Like somebody's calling it defense.
Yeah.
It looks like the Oregon champ.
I was about to say a bunch of Oregon fans all the way across the stat line.
What you got on the stats, C-Money?
I'm pulling it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they definitely didn't look like the number 2 team in the nation.
All right, he shot 0 for 6, 0% field goal percentage, 0 for 5 from 3. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal.
And I think he shot another 3 like after the whistle was blown and missed that, and shot another shot after a whistle was blown and missed that one too. Because some Auburn fans were joking on him online, saying it should have been over 7.
I love that. All right. Let's look at the picks here. I'm regrettably behind again this week, so y'all are going to start. And then we got Tyson. We're going to pick the Tyson fight.
Are we doing that one first?
No.
Okay.
Nope. We're going to start by playing Rizzle's favorite jingle first. I didn't realize it played in his ears for so freaking long last time.
It was the time before, man, but I was just like, man, my eardrums hurt.
Did it do it all? Did it do it the whole show?
No, it was at the end. It was after you played that the little jingle you have, like somehow when you hit that and then it came up and it was like for like 4.5 minutes, just rocking in my ears. Picks of the week.
All right. Well, let's play like 2 seconds of it here.
Oh, you're good, man. The crazy part is like when it was playing, I could still hear y'all.
That is crazy.
So it just had like a glitch in it.
So if anybody sees spreads that are different from what you found, these are the ones that were out there today. And I just popped them up there. But I can change them. They're editable if we need to edit them. But of course, we're going to have Auburn last, which actually is it's harder to pick than I wanted it to be. I don't know if y'all felt the same way. Picking that against the spread's hard. Texas at Arkansas, Arizona Razorbacks. Somebody just popped back in. What? Oh, okay. Now there's 2 of somebody.
It's Charlie.
All right, now I gotta remove this one.
My phone, it just did that thing where it just started like reload and then it said, oops, try again, and I was gone.
I brought you back. You're good. CPR, he's back. All right, Texas at Arizona, 12.5. They're giving
Arkansas.
Damn, I said it again.
Yeah, you did.
All right, somebody talk about the game. C-Money, start that one.
I think Texas is gonna beat that spread. They just put on an absolute clinic against Florida. They've got tons of momentum. So Quinn Ewers, he played very well last game. last week.
I like it. I feel 12.5 is probably. I would put money on this one on Texas with the 12.5. I mean, they play up and down, but Arkansas is consistently playing worse and worse each week to me. So I would easily go with Texas on this one as well. Rizzo, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull on Texas. Arkansas's defense, I just don't think that they can contain Texas, and I feel comfortable with a 2-touchdown lead on that. Texas has been rolling ever since their loss.
Chuck?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with everybody else. I think after what Jackson Dart did against Arkansas 2 weeks ago, and Quinn Ewers throwing 5 touchdowns last week, I think it's just going to continue this week. Quinn Ewers could re-enter his name into the Heisman conversation with a big performance.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that one. I don't know, man. I don't know what they see in there that keeps that spread low, but I mean, to me, that's low. But that was a weird one to me. It didn't seem too hard. Missouri, South Carolina, to me, is. I honestly thought this should be a straight pick 'em. 14 points is crazy to me. South Carolina's defense has played up to a pretty high level several times this season, and at the same time, Missouri has flopped on offense a few times. I'm going to pick South Carolina to not lose by 14.
They're favored
Brady
by
Cook
14.
is doubtful
Yeah, I
for
got
this
it
game.
backwards. Never mind. I didn't sleep last night. I told Rizzle that. Work got me last night. All right, so all right.
So you're picking Missouri to cover the 14.
Yeah, because I don't think there's gonna be a 14-point difference in this game, no matter which way it goes, honestly. Yeah, so
No, I'll agree with that. I mean, I know Brady Cook's doubtful, but I mean, they beat Oklahoma last week. Did Brady Cook play in that game? I honestly didn't watch a single second of that.
I could honestly, if Missouri disappeared from the SEC, I wouldn't notice.
No, I wouldn't either.
don't know
Except
why.
for Eli talking.
It's the
But
weirdest thing.
I don't see South Carolina blowing them out. Beating them by 2 touchdowns. I think it'll be a close game. I think South Carolina wins the game. They're peaking. They're playing really good football. But I think the Missouri defense keeps that game a little close and covers the 2 touchdowns.
All right.
Hey,
Rizzle.
C Money, try moving your mic just a little bit. I think I'm picking
Farther?
up something. I don't know.
Away.
I was picking up something.
It
Yeah,
might
away.
be me and my mouse.
I bet it's your mouse then, if that's what you just did. I'm gonna pick Missouri on this. I don't think that they will. It's gonna be a close game, man. Missouri. Yeah, I think South Carolina's kind of reached their peak too. So I'm going Missouri on this one. What's crazy is that Missouri is still
And
3-2 in the conference and still like ranked, and it's just like, holy cow, man! It's so wild, dude. Like they're still in it. Like they have something to play for. Like South Carolina doesn't. So
It's like this is the year that you could lose quite a few, and we still lost more than we could lose. That's the worst feeling.
it's pretty tough.
and you see how bad these teams played against Auburn. I mean, Auburn didn't win the games, but I mean, Missouri, that was an ugly game. And they still won, and it's like after you see that, you just think, oh, that's not a very good football team. And then they don't lose again or something, they're still in the conversation.
Our defense, man, has kept us in these games.
Yeah. C Money, what you got on this one?
I'm going to go off the same logic I did last week in the FSU Notre Dame game. Texas A&M is a better football team than Missouri. They blew out A&M. So I'm going to take South Carolina to cover the spread.
I hear you.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I like it.
Clemson and Pitt. Somebody start that.
This game is not going to be close.
What do you got?
Clemson.
Why the spread seems so weird this week? You think Vegas has gotten as wary as everybody else has at this point? That upsets are everywhere. So it's like, oh, keep it kind of close.
3 weeks ago, this spread would have been a lot closer, but Pitt has fallen out.
Since the SMU game, they got when they got destroyed. They've played horrible.
Terrible. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Clemson. I don't like them, but I had to put money somewhere. It'd be on that.
Yeah, I mean, Pitt's starting quarterback, that kid from Bama, Eli, he left last week's game. And they lost to Virginia last week as well, and they were favored in that game. So I think that they are trending downward, and they will not cover, or they will lose by more than 2 touchdowns. So give me Clemson.
Well, I'm gonna stir the pot here, man. I think that they're gonna upset Clemson just because they don't have anything to play for, and they're at home and they're tired of losing. I don't know why, but let's just go be different from the crowd.
You're picking them to win the game?
Yeah, over the spread.
Oh, you said you were gonna take them.
No, I see what you're saying.
We're picking the spread.
Yeah,
I know that, but you said upset them, so you know.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Upset.
Who knows? Who knows with this football season?
So then you look at this madness where LSU was a world beater at one point, and Florida was bottom of the barrel, and now we have a 4-point spread on the LSU at Florida. What? If there's no doubt that I would take LSU with 4.
I think this game depends on if DJ Lagway plays or not for Florida. He is an athletic quarterback, but he has been out with a hamstring injury. And we've seen what athletic quarterbacks can do to an LSU defense for 2 weeks in a row.
That's true.
But I will pick LSU to cover. I just don't think – I can't trust Lagway with a bum hammy to be as athletic as those last 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I think LSU is just going to be a little upset. So.
Yeah, but Nussmeier, when he can free up his receivers, the dude's money.
Yep. He can sling it.
Yep. Rizzle.
Man, I'm going to pick LSU on this. Florida just doesn't consistently look good enough, and, man, they looked pretty bad last week and the week before. I just don't think it gets any easier against LSU. I agree with the Lagway thing. If he plays, I think it'd be different, but even if he plays, I don't think he's going to be 100%. So,
yeah.
At 4 points, I'm going to take LSU.
Hamstring injuries are tricky.
Yes, lingering.
Especially for a mobile quarterback that wants to get out of the pocket and run.
Yep.
See money?
I'm just going to go ahead and ask, does anyone know if Harold Perkins is playing?
Let me look at
Perkins is out for the year.
He's
out for the year?
Yeah.
You still got weeks in there wrecking ball, man.
Yeah, I'm still going to take LSU. Like Rizzo was saying, even if Lagway plays, he's not going to be at 100%. So, and then as Nussmeier can find that click again with his guys, back whenever they were playing in the first, like week 1 with Lacey.
Yes, that's they couldn't get. I don't know what was going on with Lacey
had like
last
130 yards in that game.
Yeah.
He didn't get a pass thrown his way last week until like the second quarter.
Yeah, it was.
And it was a drop hitch in the end zone.
Yeah, I think Nussmeier next year in the NFL or a couple of years in the NFL could be the best quarterback in this draft class.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the USC game, I was like, "That's Joe Burrow. He's back. Like that's him."
I mean, that kid can sling it. I think he's got to eliminate some mistakes, obviously, but I think if he gets in the right system in the NFL, maybe sit for a year or 2, I think he'll be a guy.
Yep.
That's the thing that stinks about drafting quarterbacks these days, though. They want to put them in day one.
No.
Like they want you to come in now, and it's just like, man, let this dude sit back. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers, but man, he sat behind Brett Favre. Like, you take a look at Steve Steve Young and sat behind Joe Montana, and like let these guys just sit back and learn
Oh, yeah.
Look at the Packers did it again with Jordan Love.
with Love behind Rodgers. Yep.
Right.
And then you take these kids like Daniel Jones and just throw them the money and put them out there, and it's just like, man, that guy is garbage. Like
I
he's
saw a
never
clip-
worth the amount of money they give him.
I saw a clip this week of they were talking about Daniel Jones, not to get sidetracked here, but it was Todd McShay on draft night. And he said, "Congratulations, you just drafted a backup quarterback."
That's pretty harsh.
But I mean,
That's
how
pretty-
true is it though?
That's true.
I
That's
mean, he
pretty
nailed
harsh.
it. It's just the Giants paid him.
Well, look no further than the Titans taking what's his name from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Dude, he should never be like. Come on, man. He's just not good.
Yep.
No, there's a reason he transferred out of Penn State. He couldn't win the job.
Yeah. And just because you're quarterback at Kentucky doesn't mean that you're
Right.
good enough to start. Anyways, I
No.
digress about the NFL. I just like
Okay. Tennessee, Georgia. They're giving Georgia 9.5.
I feel like that's a lot of points.
29 points. Yes.
9 points.
No, they have Georgia projected to score 29.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but there's a 9-point spread. They're giving Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I saw it at 10, and I just feel like that's a lot of points for this game. The only concern I have is Nico.
Yes.
Being in supposed concussion protocol. There hadn't been a whole lot of information about him. It seems like he could be ready to go, but who knows with something like that. But you also have Carson Beck on the other side who plays quarterback like he has a concussion.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yes.
For me personally, I think Georgia wins the game, but I think Tennessee covers 10 points or 9.5 as you have it. So I think it's going to be a decently close game, but I think Georgia being at home makes a difference.
Yeah. If Nico is playing, which I mean, that's what I was just looking up again 2 hours ago. They're still saying concern.
He's been in all the meetings and at all the practices this week. And Heupel said he thinks he'll be good to go on Monday. So I would think he's fine.
Yeah.
But he also hasn't been playing that great anyway. So.
And then Etienne is actually listed as questionable.
I didn't know
Doesn't
that.
matter. They don't use him.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true, C-Money. They don't use him.
So that would be if Etienne is out, then they could be down 3 running backs. They could be using a freshman running back.
There's
and then
probably a 5-star that runs a 4.340.
Yeah.
Built like a linebacker.
The next Herschel Walker.
I'm totally on Tennessee on this one. And I think that they got a good chance to win the game, honestly. Carson Beck, man, he has fallen off so far. I was just looking at that. He's got 12 interceptions this year.
Yeah.
17 TDs. I mean, Peyton Thorne only has 7 interceptions now. At least, I mean,
Carson's got 9 in 4 games.
He is off the chain right now. So I think Tennessee actually wins the game.
I'd love it.
My pick. Yeah. And especially if they don't have they put in a freshman running back. I'm gonna look that dude up while C-Money talks about who he's picking.
I think Tennessee easily beats 9.5. I will go as far as saying they will win this game. Because Carson Beck, all of y'all have said it, that he looks horrible. How many points did they score last week? 13?
Was it 27-13? Something like that?
Yeah. And they've got to score 29 against Tennessee.
Tennessee's got a stout defense.
Yeah. I think if Nico is out,
they scored 10 last week. It's 28-10.
10. Yeah, they have them to score 29. And Tennessee has a amazing defense.
Yeah.
Carson Benson threw at least one interception, probably two, if he plays like this. And he doesn't seem to look like he cares on the
No,
sideline.
he does not seem like
He's
cares.
having a blast over there.
Yep, absolutely crazy. That
And
was talked
then,
about several times this week.
but if if Nico's out, then their backup came. I'm not sure if y'all remember this, but their backup came in for the first play. Their backup came in against Bama. He threw an interception into triple coverage.
Well, that's why he's the backup.
Georgia's defense is yeah, but Georgia's
that one
defense.
choked me up.
Georgia's defense is definitely the strength of that team. So if that quarterback is in, then they'll have to run the ball a lot more than they usually do, which is not a problem. Dylan he's really good, but they can't run the scheme that they like, the air raid offense that they love.
Yes.
Let's see. Nate Frazier was a 4-star out of Mater D, Santa Ana,
Nader D,
California. Mater D High School.
One of the top high schools in the nation.
Well,
like Duncanville level.
I don't know. I only went to one high school. I don't know the rest of them. He was a wide receiver until he started playing running back midway through his junior season. So he's really fast. That's what they're saying. But he doesn't seem like. I mean, I'm sure he'll be up to the challenge, but it doesn't look like something where I would change my pick based on that.
Yeah.
Rizzle, what do you think?
Oh man, I like everything you guys said, but not so fast, my friend. I'm gonna go with Georgia, man. They can't lose. Tennessee can lose and still be in the hunt. Georgia can't lose.
No,
It's a night game.
they're absolutely in a must-win situation. No
Yeah,
doubt.
they're in a must-win. It's a night game in Georgia between the hedges, man. And with the unknown questions about the Tennessee quarterback, and I know Carson back is not looking great, and they may be out of running back, man. But after that loss they had last week, man, Kirby doesn't win. I mean, he doesn't lose too many back-to-backs, not since being there. So I think he's got the guys up.
I mean, you know what? If not for this will make sense, and when I finish it, if not for the Ole Miss game, then I would believe everything that you're saying. But he didn't get them up for what I thought he was going to really get them up for. That was crazy to me. So
Oh, I get it.
that I lost a lot of faith in what he could do for a team when he didn't have them up for that.
I think Ole Miss's defense showed their true colors last week. I think we talked about it last week, the rankings of Ole Miss's defense. Like they have like number 2 or 3 ranked defense in the nation.
Yeah.
And so I think they showed against good competition how good they really are.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
I think they could be up for a good letdown here soon too after that one.
Definitely.
I forgot to say this when I was talking. This is not a far game. Like Tennessee's going to travel. The fans are going to travel for this game.
Oh yeah, they're going to pay big money to be there.
Oh, because they haven't been ranked high like this, in a while.
Yeah.
Coming in and.
I don't think they've won in Sanford Stadium in like 10 years or something. I saw the other day. It's been forever since they've beat Georgia in Georgia.
This is the year to do it.
They're going to the fan they might even try to do a plat in the stadium.
That'd be crazy. Oh man, if you could do a color thing in somebody else's stadium, wow, you'd really be doing something.
That's so disrespectful.
Yes. I'm pretty sure every time they play Vandy, they do. So.
Yeah.
There's some teams that do in the NFL. Like when they go out west to like Vegas and stuff, they sell out. Or they'll have more opposing fans in Vegas and California.
Oh yeah, the Steelers always travel, man. Like,
yep.
That's one team that's always going to travel.
So does anybody know why Vegas thinks we're going to win by 25 points, 24 points?
Because ULM's lost 3 in a row, and they're allowing 37 points a game over those 3, maybe.
I got that part. But then when you look at who we are and that, let's see, I just was looking at it. 23 times Peyton Thorne's been sacked this season. Good grief.
And he didn't see a single one of them.
Nope. He hadn't seen one yet. He's got his whole 180 blindside right here. Yeah.
So we scored 24 points against Kentucky.
Yeah.
21 against Oklahoma, 45 against New Mexico, and 73 against A&M. Like, there ain't but 3 times in the season that we've even scored 25 points.
Yeah, that was the math I was doing. If we're going to win by 24, what are we scoring? Are we holding them to 0 and scoring 24? If we came out and we did the Kentucky game plan, then maybe I feel like maybe that's a possibility. But then you're on the ground and the clock's going to run, and it'd still be hard to score 24 on the ground with this team. But then on the other side of the ball, their defense is not bad. I mean, they've got some dudes that are pressuring, and 3 interceptions. They got to have 7 sacks and 28 pressures. I know they don't play the caliber of team, but what caliber are we at the same time is the problem.
Well, you just said it,
man.
man.
What caliber is our quarterback?
Oh, wait.
And you said it too. But the game plan we had against Kentucky, we scored 24, and Kentucky put up 10.
Yeah,
and it's still only.
We also didn't score until the second quarter of that game.
Yeah. Well, because we came out and threw 3 passes the first time we had the ball, and then the second time we had the ball.
Yeah.
4 in a row, and the 4th one was a pick.
Yeah.
So I think this game should. We've talked about it on Monday. The whole Peyton Thorne shoulder injury and the questions at quarterback. If you don't line up and run the ball 40 times, then what are you doing as a coach?
I don't even know the ball.
You have a bomb quarterback that can't throw. Even when he's healthy, he can't throw. And now he's got a bum shoulder. Like, this should be a Jarquez, Damari Alston line up and run the ball.
Totally.
But when you say what are you doing as a coach, which one are you talking about? We have 3 coordinators.
Well, it depends on what down it is.
Yeah. Which one of them's calling the running plays?
None of them.
I started thinking earlier today. I was like, if Hugh Freeze he struggles with running the ball, what are other do all of our coordinators? Are all of them only like throwing the ball?
Yeah, because they're all Hugh Freeze disciples.
They're all wanting to prove that they got the play that's going to work.
Yep.
So there were some people saying that him coming out and saying in a press conference that Peyton's hurt was like saying, "Hey, come get him." Like, it was showing his weakness. I don't know if that's true. And that was some pretty big accounts on Twitter that podcast. They always do an injury report, so I'm not sure what that meant. But they felt like him saying that meant that either we were going to go with Hank or go with the running game. And that was
There's been zero conversation about anybody besides Peyton playing this week after last week.
Yeah.
When they said they were looking at it or whatever he said, there's been zero conversation.
Peyton came out Monday and said that he thought he was good to go, and then Hugh came out behind him and said, no, he's not. He didn't even practice Monday. We held him out.
We can't go off of Peyton's.
Dude, I don't go off anything he says, but I'm just saying,
decision making is bad. This will be the first time this season, and then that I'm going to pick Louisiana Monroe. I'm not picking Louisiana Monroe to win, but I don't know if we can win by 24.5.
No, I'm on the same pick. I think Auburn wins the game. I think I don't think it's close. But I think ULM covers the 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
I mean, I totally plan on having some frustrations.
Dude,
I mean, you
what's
think
sad-
about it. If it's 28-7 or 31-7, that's a comfortable win for Auburn. You're happy with it. And the defense played well, obviously, and allowed 7 points, and they covered the spread. Everybody wins.
If we win this game, we're in a position. Wait, are we? No.
If it's 30, what'd you say? 31-7?
This will be 5.
Yeah, it's 24.
Yeah, 24.5 though. That wouldn't cover it.
No, we have 3.
For ULM, it does.
Oh yeah, my bad. Them, yes.
You got a couple more weeks to figure out what the spread works.
What's
Yeah,
sad
lot
to me
going
is
on.
looking on ESPN and it's tickets as low as $5. Oof, that hurts.
I know, man.
For the same reasons you guys said it, I'm picking ULM to cover the spread. I think Auburn wins the game. I hope Auburn wins the game. My God, if they don't.
My God, if they don't.
Oh,
I may
dude.
regret saying this, but I don't think we're in any danger of losing the game.
There it goes.
I've thought that so many times this year.
I wish I had one of those like New Year's Eve poppers with the confetti. There it is. That's it. It's over now.
I mean, how many times have you just thought that, and then after the first half, you're like, we're in big trouble.
Not even first half. After the first 2 sets of offensive plays we get to run.
3 and out.
After the first 8 passes.
Yes.
All right, C-Money, what are you gonna do on this one?
I'm gonna take ULM to cover. I think Auburn will win. I think one of the 3 biggest issues with Auburn is it taking us a whole drive to run the football. On the first play of the game, we should have run the ball. I feel like that's any offense. You take that first down, you feel it out, you look to see if you like how they're adapting to the run.
Yeah.
But Hugh Freeze throwing 3 straight, or Peyton Thorne throwing 3 straight incomplete passes on the first drive of the game, when you're completely fresh, your O-line, Jarquez, they've got their breath. You don't not run the ball on the first drive.
I'm 100% with you. That doesn't mean anything else, though.
Yeah, no. But
It's just common sense has not ruled this whole season. So
it's just frustrating that we just don't run. Jarquez Hunter, he's top 3 running back in SEC play, but we just don't use him. I mean, he might be the best. We don't know. We haven't seen him enough.
Yeah. I know you're 100% right.
Junior year,
His
sophomore
draft
year,
stock has fallen so far this year. It's bad.
even freshman year, we all thought that was the dude, and then randomly we just stopped using him.
It's the same thing we did with Tank. Harson ruined Tank.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
By not properly using him. And he's killing it in the NFL when given the opportunity.
Yeah. Whenever he's Travis Etienne, I don't know what happened to him.
Can't stay healthy.
Well, even when he is healthy, he's not doing anything. He had negative fantasy points 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. How bad is that team around him, though?
Yeah. Who you talking about?
The Jaguars.
Travis Etienne.
Starting Mac Jones at quarterback.
Man, so I mean, they got Jarquez like in the middle of the round. It's so
What round?
That sucks.
Like 3rd or 4th round?
I saw 3rd. I was trying to find a couple that would.
I think that's probably where at the beginning of the season, though, I feel like that's probably where he would have been anyway. I mean, you just don't see many running backs anymore getting that first round unless it's like, last year the Falcons took Bijan Robinson. But he's more of an all-around. Like, he catches the ball. He does it all.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't see many true running backs get anything above a third round, maybe a second, but it's usually a third, fourth round.
These days, yes.
All right, welcome back.
Ooh.
Here I am.
All right, we're picking the fight.
Yep, I was looking at this. Yeah, but they're saying third, fourth round. Overall rank right now is 348. It's 34th in his position. 34th.
Yeah,
in his
a lot can
position.
change, man, because he'll go practice with Brad Lester in the offseason, get ready for the combine, and there's no telling.
Yep.
Right. He'll transform his body
Yeah,
again.
that's one of Lester's dudes, and Lester's pretty good at it.
They'll see his measurements and his athletic ability and how strong he is.
I don't understand how you have a college player squatting 700 pounds and not using him.
It's not all about squat, though. I mean, he's got everything he needs. But
he's got everything, man. He can hurdle people. He can push the pile. He's got the juke. Like, he's got a sidestep.
So the outstanding picks there, besides everybody, was C-Money picking South Carolina, and then Rizzo taking Pitt in Georgia. So it's like the weather. It's going to come in from this direction. And this direction.
James Spann over here.
Hey, all right.
It's the polygon.
All right, so
you better respect it.
The Tyson fight's the most important thing to me this whole weekend. I actually wish it was on Saturday night. That would be amazing.
Well, Saturday night's a big UFC card. They knew they couldn't compete with that. John Jones Bones is fighting your buddy, the fireman, Stipe.
Johnny Bones. That dude's he's brutal, man.
Yeah.
I'm taking Tyson. I think the dude's back off of his chain. I think he's crazy again.
I'm taking Tyson just because I don't want to have to cheer for Jake Paul because I made a pick on a podcast.
Yeah.
Now, you don't ever have to cheer for your pick.
I want to be right.
I got you.
I grew up watching Tyson. I know what he's capable of. He may not do it, but I know what he's capable of, and I know I wouldn't walk in a ring with him. I'd step in a ring with Paul for a little while, I think. I'll go with Tyson.
I was watching that Tyson workout video that they posted.
That dude's a beast, man.
The punches to the ribs, and I'm just thinking if he hits Paul with one of those, he's tapping out. Like I don't care who you are, you're tapping out.
Yeah, you get a liver shot from Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
it's over. And if he's not tapping out, he's holding himself down, and it's coming with an uppercut back up, and it's gone.
I mean,
Mike Tyson knockout video game.
Yes. I mean, this slap. I'm gonna play it again. This was just from the hip. He doesn't step it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
flat-footed, both feet on the ground.
ladies and gentlemen,
It was so.
He was ready to go after that too. He put him up. He's ready to go.
That was so unbelievably fast for standing flat-footed and not even being So Tyson all the way. Who you got, C-Money?
I mean, I've never watched the Tyson fight. I've never seen him fight. I'm just listening to all the hype around what y'all are saying. I don't see how he can lose. What y'all are saying?
There's always a chance.
He had
Hey, pull up a YouTube of Tyson when he Spinks knocked him out, and he don't pull that one up.
I mean, most of his fights, like you were saying, they lasted no time.
Just Google 20-year-old Mike Tyson.
Yes. I gotta get to YouTube.
I hate the children.
And just pull up Mike Tyson knockouts, and then we can at least show C-Money and give him a little education on what the guy used to be capable of.
Let's see what
I don't know. Watching him train, man, he does not look like he's missed too many steps.
No.
He looks in better shape than Paul. Paul looks like he had flabs.
And he's like 25, 30 years older than Paul.
I think Paul may have put some weight on knowing that.
He's going to cut.
Well, no, just because I think Tyson may weigh more than him.
He looks like crap.
I think he may have weighted up just so he can, almost like a protection thing, like absorb the blows a little bit better.
Here we go. Tyson's in white.
Youngster's only 19 years of age. Long is 27. Oh, wow. Well,
So fast.
that was quick. Tyson putting him down here early in the first one. Cappuccino looking on closely. You see Long holding those gloves up to say he's all right. But
Mike knows it's over, too. God, look how fast.
Left hand again.
He's trying to get out of the ring.
Yes, I would be, too.
Tyson. Oh, Long is down. Second round. Another knockdown.
There is no three
Oh, man, just let me out.
The referee can't stop it after 3 if he decides
No
so.
three
This is
knockout
very
rule.
impressive. Mike Tyson not expected to come out this strong against Long.
5 of 8 have fallen in the first. Is it 6 of 9 as Tyson comes out with a strong right hand barrage again?
This is as bad as I've ever seen Donnie Long.
Oh, man. Oh, my. Dude, that. Oh, my
hand puts him down.
God.
He collapses, and this one is over as the doctors rush into the ring.
Yep.
Make no mistake about it. That was a good performance.
Every other one that I've
Not
found,
just because of what.
looking at the other ones, all the other ones are like removed from.
Copyrighted.
Yeah. Oh man, they're all removed. Like they came through and did it recently.
I was going to say, it's probably from all the hype of this fight. They didn't want people using them because they weren't getting paid for them.
It's like YouTube censorship.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
It's too violent.
Let's see. I want to see this one real quick. Oh my God, that was him and Stephen A. I thought that one was going to be on there. That was just they've taken everything Mike Tyson down. Anyway, yeah, he was a beast. Absolutely. I look forward to you being able to see him fight.
There's going to be so many people that tune in. The ratings on that are going to be absurd.
Oh,
Yes.
The fact that you don't have to pay for it, like you just have to have a Netflix account. It's not like $99.99 pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
I wonder how many people are going to create an account just to watch it for the 6-day intro and then drop it.
Yep.
Yeah, they've really gone through the whole internet and taken everything down. Just gray screen after gray screen. That sucks. All right. Well, so then that's our picks of the week. And we'll,
More damn Tyson.
yeah.
There you go.
If he wins, full free reign to roll tumors, please.
Yeah, roll it.
In this whole charade.
Did y'all see that Jake Paul had that rooster on his head the other day?
No.
Yes.
I didn't see that one.
He was working out and had a rooster hat on. It was weird looking.
At first, I thought he just had red hair, and I was like, dude, oh man, that's bad. And then I looked further. I was like, oh, that's like a rooster. It's okay.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's taking it seriously as Mike is taking it. Mike wants it. That's another reason why I pick him. Just watching the difference in their training videos.
Oh yeah.
Jake's just joking around and boxing. He had some chick boxing him and hitting him in the ribs, and I'm just like, dude, if you think that Mike Tyson can't punch harder than that girl right there, if he hits you in the kidneys, bro, it's over. He hits that liver, you're gonna fold.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to find that. I mean, the stuff where you see him on here, it just doesn't look like he's in the shape that he has been in the past. There's more videos.
I think he looked, because they were supposed to fight a couple months ago, and then Mike got sick or whatever happened on that airplane. I don't even know if he got sick. I think he just wanted some more training time. I don't know, but
all right, check this out.
Paul looked more cut then.
This is the full where he got back, and walked up to him.
Yeah.
What's he thinking?
Yeah, it's not a good look.
It's not.
What was he doing?
I
A
don't.
knuckle crawl.
Is that like a gorilla thing to like a
That's
racist?
That's what I was afraid
I
of.
mean, I can only assume. I mean,
Not turn this into a racism conversation on this podcast.
No,
it's not.
we're
It's not going
doing
to go
that.
there. No, it's not going to go there. But at the same time, the last person you want to give fuel to a fire is Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but he does not look like he is. Like you said, you were just saying I cut you off. Yeah, he's been in way better shape, way more cut. And, we're not boxing professionals. We're not football professionals for sure. If you go back and
We're not even professionals.
if you go back and look at our picks, let's see. If it's anything like last week, these three over here on the right side will be right.
Yeah.
And this will be the column that's right, and all these will be wrong. Because that's the way they are. Every time we've gone in chunks like this, we've missed them like 90% of them. So we'll see. All right. Well,
go against the grain, man.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Well, y'all watch the fight. We'll text during the fight, and then we'll figure out something for it'll be Monday night.
I like Monday.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
good for me.
Okay. Monday night. Let me hit this little outro, and then we'll be out.
We got Louisiana Monroe this weekend. That got us thinking, what is a war hawk? Hey Google, what is a war hawk? Wait, a person who favors starting armed conflicts? Is that politically correct? Anyway, this is the podcast that the prognosticators come to when they need to remember how bad it can be. Rizzle, Charlie, C-Money, and Bonner. This is Between Two Barns.